The scene changes to a Mediterranean resort. In the background are villas, a casino with a terrace, and a blue strip of sea. In the foreground is a white wall over which hang branches of orange trees in fruit. Below this, to one side, a huge heap of coal and 2 wheelbarrows. The daughter and the lawyer come onto the terrace. Daughter: this is paradise. First coal heaver: this is hell. Second coal heaver: 120 in the shade. Shall we get into the sea? Then the police had come. You mustn't bathe here. Can't we have a bit of fruit off of that tree? The police would come. One can't work in this heat. I'm gonna chuck it. Then the police would come and take you up. Besides, you'll have nothing to eat. Nothing to eat! We who do the most work get the least food, and the rich who do nothing get it all. Might one not, without taking liberties with the truth, call this unjust? What is the daughter of the gods up there to say about it? I have no answer. But tell me, what have you done to get so black and have so hard a lot? What have we done? Got ourselves born to poor and pretty bad parents. Been sentenced a couple of times, maybe. Sentenced? Yes. The ones that don't get caught sit up there in the casino, eating 8-course dinners with wine. Daughter to lawyer: can this be true? More or less, yes. Do you mean that everyone at some time or another deserves imprisonment? Yes. Even you? Yes. Is it true those poor men aren't allowed to bathe in that sea? No. Not even with their clothes on. Only those who try to drown themselves avoid paying. They are more than likely to get beaten up at the police station. Can't they go and bathe outside the town? In the country? There is no country. It's all fenced in. I mean where it is open and free. Nothing is free. Everything is owned. Even the sea? The vast, wide everything. You can't go out in a boat, nor can you land without it all being booked and paid for. It's marvelous. This is not paradise. I promise you that. Why don't people do anything to improve conditions? They certainly do. But all reformers end in prison or the madhouse. Who puts them in prison? All the righteous. All the respectable. Who puts them in the madhouse? Their own despair. When they see the hopelessness of the struggle. Has it occurred to anyone that there may be unknown reasons for this state of things? Yes. The well-off always think that it is so. That there is nothing wrong with things as they are? First coal heaver: and yet we are the foundation of society. If there's no coal, the kitchen stove goes out, and the fire on the hearth too. The machines in the factory stop working. The lights in streets and shops and homes all go out. Darkness and cold descend on you. That's why we sweat like hell carrying filthy coal. What do you give us in return? Lawyer to daughter: help them. I know that things can't be exactly the same for everybody. But why should there be such inequality? The gentleman and the lady cross the terrace. Lady: are you coming to play cards? Gentleman: no, I must go for a little walk to get an appetite for dinner. Exeunt. First coal heaver: to get an appetite. Second coal heaver: to get... Children enter. When they catch sight of the black workers, they scream with terror and run off. They scream when they see us. They scream! Second coal heaver: curse it. We better get out the scaffold soon and execute this rotten body. First coal heaver. Curse it, I say too. Lawyer to daughter. It's all wrong. It's not the people who are so bad, but the system. Daughter, hiding her face in her hands. This is not paradise. First coal heaver. No. This is hell. Pure hell. The scene changes to the earlier set of Finnegle's cave. Long green billows roll gently into the cave. A red bell buoy rocks upon the waves, but gives no sound until later. The daughter is with the poet. Poet. Where have you brought me? Daughter. Far from the murmur and wailing of the children of men. To this grotto at the ends of the oceans to which we give the name Indra's ear. For here, it is said, the King of Heaven listens to the lamentations of mortals. Why here? Do you not see that this cave is shaped like a shell? Do you not know that your ear is shaped like a shell? She picks up a shell. As a child, did you ever hold a shell to your ear and listen to the whisper of your heart's blood? To the humming of thoughts in your brains, to the parting of 1,000 little worn-out tissues in the fabric of your body? All this you can hear in a small shell. Think, then, what may be heard in this great one. I hear nothing but the sigh of the wind. Then I will be its interpreter. Listen to the lamentation of the winds. She speaks to soft music. Born under heaven's clouds, chased were we by Indra's fires down to the crust of earth. The mold of acres soiled our feet. We had to bear the dust and roads and city smoke, the kitchen's reek and fumes of wine. Out to these spacious seas we blew to air our lungs, to shake our wings, and bathe our feet. Indra, Lord of Heaven, hear us. Listen to our sighing. Earth is not clean. Life is not just. Men are not evil, nor are they good. They live as best they may from one day to another. Sons of dust, in dust they walk, born of the dust, dust they become. Feet they have to trudge, no wings. Dust soiled they grow. Is the fault theirs or thine? So I heard once. Hush! The winds are still singing. We, the winds, the sons of air, bear man's lamentation. Thou hast heard us on autumn eves in the chimney stack, in the stovepipe's vent, in the window cracks, as the rain wept on the tiles. Or on winter nights, mid the pine-wood snows, or on the stormy oceans, hast heard the moaning and the whine of rope and sail. That is us, the winds, the sons of air, who from human breasts we pierced ourselves, these sounds of suffering learnt. In sickness, on the battlefield, and most where the newborn lie, screaming, complaining of the pain of being alive. It is we the winds who whine and whistle, woe, woe, woe. Seems to me that once before, hush! The waves are singing. It is we the waves that rock the winds to rest. Green cradling waves, wet are we in salt. Like flames of fire, wet flames we are. Quenching, burning, cleansing, bathing, generating, multiplying. We the waves that rock the winds to rest. Daughter, false waves and faithless. Everything on earth that is not burned is drowned by those waves. Look here. She points to the wreckage. Look what the sea has stolen and destroyed. All that remains of those sunken ships is their figureheads. And the names. Justice, friendship, golden peace, and hope. That's all that's left of hope. Treacherous hope. Spars, rocklows, bailers. And see, the life buoy which saved itself, letting those in need perish. Poet, searching the wreckage. Here is the name of the ship, Justice. This is the ship which sailed from Fairhaven with the blind man's son on board. So she sank. And Alice's sweetheart was in her too. Edith's hopeless love. The blind man? Fairhaven? Surely that I dreamt. Alice's sweetheart, ugly Edith. Faustran and the quarantine, the sulphur, the carbolic. Graduation in the church, the lawyer's office, the alley in Victoria. The growing castle and the officer. These things I dreamt. These things I once made poetry. You know what poetry is? I know what dreams are. What is poetry? Not reality, but more than reality. Not dreams, but waking dreams. Yet the children of men believe that poets merely play, invent, and fabricate. It is just as well, my friend, or else the world would be laid waste for lack of endeavor. All men would lie upon their backs gazing at the heavens. No hand would be lifted to plough or spade or plane or axe. Do you speak thus, daughter of Indra? You who are half of heaven. You are right to reproach me. I have lived too long down here, and like you have bathed in mud. My thoughts can no longer fly. Clay is on their wings and soil about their feet. And I myself, she raises her arms, am sinking. Sinking. Help me, Father, God of heaven. Silence. No longer can I hear his answer. No longer can I hear his lips to the shell of my ear. The silver thread is snapped. Alas, I am earthbound. Do you mean then soon? To go? As soon as I have burnt this earthly matter, for the waters of the oceans cannot cleanse me. Why do you ask? I have a prayer. A petition. A petition? A petition from mankind to the ruler of the universe, drawn up by a dreamer. Who is to present it? Indra's daughter. Can you speak the words? I can. Speak them then. It is better that you should. Where shall I read them? In my thoughts. Or here. He gives her a scroll. So be it. I will speak them. She takes the scroll but does not read. Why with anguish are you born? Why do you hurt your mother so, child man, when bringing her the joy of motherhood, joy beyond all other joys? Why wake to life? Why greet the light with a cry of fury and of pain? Child of man, when to be glad should be the gift of life. Why are we born like animals? We who stem from God and man, whose souls are longing to be clothed in other than this blood and filth. Must God's own image cut its teeth? Speaking her own thoughts. No, no more. The work may not condemn the master. Life's riddle still remains unsolved. Continuing the poet's bitter words. And then the journey's course begins, over thistles, thorns, and stones. If it should touch a beaten track, comes at once the cry, keep off! Pluck a flower straight, you'll find the bloom you picked to be another's. If cornfields lie across your path, and you must pursue your way, trampling on another's crops, others will then trample yours, that your loss may equal theirs. Every pleasure you enjoy brings to all your fellows sorrow, yet your sorrow gives no gladness. So sorrow, sorrow upon sorrow, on your way, until you're dead. And then, alas, give others bread. It is thus. O son of dust, you seek to win the ear of God? How may son of dust find words so pure, so light, so luminous, that they can rise up from the earth? Child of the gods, translate for me this lamentation into speech fit for immortal ears. I will. Poet, pointing. What is floating there? A buoy? Yes. It is like a lung with a windpipe. It is the watchman of the sea. When danger is abroad, it sings. It seems to me that the sea is rising, and the waves beginning to not mistaken. Alas, what do I see? A ship, on the rocks. What ship can it be? I believe it is the ghost ship. What is that? The Flying Dutchman. He? Why is he punished so cruelly, and why does he not come ashore? Because he had 7 unfaithful wives. Shall he be punished for that? Yes. All righteous men condemned him. Incomprehensible world. How can he be freed from his curse? Freed? One would beware of freeing him. Why? Because... No, that is not the Dutchman. It is an ordinary ship in distress. Then why does the buoy not sound? Look how the sea is rising. The waves are towering, and soon we shall be imprisoned in this cave. Now the ship's bell is ringing. Soon there will be another figurehead in here. Cry out, buoy! Watchman, do your duty! The buoy sounds a 4-part chord in 5ths and 6ths, like foghorns. The crew is waving at us, but we ourselves perish. Do you not want to be set free? Yes, I do. But not now. And not by water. The crew, singing 4-part. Christe Kyrie. Poet. They are calling, and the sea is calling. But no one hears. Daughter, who is it coming there? Walking upon the water. Only one walks upon the water. It is not Peter the rock, for he sank like a stone. A white light appears over the sea. Daughter, is it he? It is he. The crucified. Why? Tell me, why was he crucified? Because he wished to set men free. Who, I have forgotten, who crucified him? All righteous men. This incomprehensible world. The sea is rising. Darkness is falling on us. The storm is growing wilder. The crew shriek. The crew are screaming with horror because they have seen their savior. And now, they are throwing themselves overboard in terror of the Redeemer. The crew shrieks again. Now they are screaming because they are going to die. They were born screaming, and they die screaming. The mounting waves threaten to drown them in the cave. The light begins to change. Daughter, if I were sure it was a ship. Indeed, I do not think it is a ship. It's a 2-storied house with trees round it. And a telephone tower. A tower reaching to the skies. It's the modern Tower of Babel sending up its wires to communicate with those above. Child, man's thought needs no wires for its flight. The prayers of the devout penetrate all worlds. That is surely no Tower of Babel. If you wish to storm the heavens, storm them with your prayers. No, it's not a house. Not a telephone tower. Do you see? What do you see? During the following speech, the scene changes to the alley of the opera house. See a snow-covered heath. A parade ground. The winter sun is shining behind a church on the hill, so that the tower casts its long shadow on the snow. Now a troop of soldiers comes marching over the heath. They march on the tower and up the spire. Now they are on the cross, and I seem to know that the first to tread on the weathercock must die. They are drawing near it. It's the corporal at their head who... a cloud is sailing over the heath, across the sun. Now everything is gone. The moisture of the cloud has put out the fire of the sun. It is springtime. The tree and the monk's hood are in bud. The stage doorkeeper sits at her old place. The daughter enters, followed by the poet. Daughter to doorkeeper. Has the chancellor arrived yet? Doorkeeper. No. Nor the deans? No. You must send for them at once. The door is going to be opened. Is it so urgent? Yes. It's thought that the answer to the riddle of the universe is locked up in there. So send for the chancellor and the deans of the 4 faculties. The doorkeeper blows a whistle. And don't forget the glazier and his diamond, or nothing can be done. The personnel of the opera pour from the building as in the earlier scene. The officer, young again, in morning coat and top hat, comes through the gate, carrying a bouquet of roses and looking radiantly happy. Officer, singing, Victoria, Victoria. Doorkeeper, the young lady will be down in a minute. Good. The carriage is waiting. The table is laid, the champagne is on the ice. Let me embrace you, madam. Embraces the doorkeeper. Victoria! Woman's voice from above singing, I am here. Officer pacing. Well, I am waiting. Poet. I seem to have lived through all this before. Daughter. I too. Poet. Perhaps I dreamt it. Or made a poem of it. Or made a poem. Daughter. You know then what poetry is. I know what dreaming is. I feel that once before, somewhere else we said these words. And soon you will know what reality is. Or dreaming. Or poetry. Enter the Chancellor and the Dean of Theology, Philosophy, Medicine, and Law, followed by the glazier and a group of righteous people. Chancellor. It's all a question of the door, you understand. What does the Dean of Theology think about it? Dean of Theology.
I don't think. I believe. Credo.
Dean of Philosophy.
I think.
Dean of Medicine. I know. Dean of Law. I doubt. Until I've heard the evidence and witnesses. Chancellor. Now they will quarrel again. Well then, first what does theology believe?
I believe that this door ought not to be opened, as it conceals dangerous truths.
Philosophy.
The truth is never dangerous.
Medicine. What is truth? Law. Whatever can be proved by two witnesses. Theology.
Anything can be proved by two false witnesses, if you're a pettifogger.
Philosophy. Truth is wisdom, and wisdom and knowledge are philosophy itself. Philosophy is the science of sciences, the knowledge of knowledge. All other sciences are its servants. Medicine. The only science is natural science. Philosophy is not science. It is merely empty speculation. Theology.
Bravo!
Philosophy, to Dean of Theology. And what, may I ask, are you? The arch enemy of knowledge, the antithesis of science. You are ignorance and darkness. Medicine. Bravo! Theology, to Dean of Medicine.
And you say bravo. You who can't see further than the end of your own nose in a magnifying glass. You who believe in nothing but your deceptive senses. In your eyes, for instance, which may be long-sighted, short-sighted, blind, pure-blind, squinting, one-eyed, color-blind, red-blind, green-blind.
Medicine. Blockhead! Theology.
Yes!
They fight. Chancellor. Enough! Birds of a feather shouldn't peck each other's eyes out. Philosophy. Had I to choose between these two, theology and medicine, I should choose neither. Law. And if I had to sit in judgment over you three, I should condemn every one of you. You can't agree on a single point. Never have been able to. Let's get back to the matter at hand. What's your opinion, Chancellor, on this door and the opening of it? Chancellor. Opinion? I don't have opinions. I am merely appointed by the government to see that you don't break each other's arms and legs in the Senate in the course of educating the young. Opinions? No, I take good care not to have any. I had a few once, but they were soon exploded. Opinions always are exploded. By opponents, of course. Perhaps we had better have the door opened now, even at the risk of it concealing dangerous truths. Law. What is truth? What is the truth?
I am the truth and the life.
I am knowledge of knowledge. I am exact knowledge. I doubt. They fight. Daughter. Shame on you, teachers of youth. Law. Chancellor, as delegate of the government and head of the teaching staff, denounce this woman. She has cried shame on you, which is contumely, and she has ironically referred to you as teachers of youth, which is slander. Poor youth. She pities youth. And that's tantamount to accusing us. Chancellor, denounce her! Daughter. Yes, I accuse you, all of you, of sowing the seeds of doubt and dissension in the minds of the young. Law. Listen to her. She is herself raising doubts in the young as to our authority, yet she is accusing us of raising doubts. I appeal to all righteous men. Is this not a criminal offense? All the righteous. Yes, it is criminal. Law. The righteous have condemned you. Go in peace with your gains. Otherwise... My gains? Otherwise what? Otherwise you will be stoned. Poet. Or crucified. Daughter, to the poet. I am going. Come with me and learn the answer to the riddle. Poet. Which riddle? Daughter. What does he mean by my gains? Probably nothing at all. That's what we call idle chatter. He was just chattering. But that hurt me more than anything else. That's why he said it. Human beings are like that. The glazier opens the door and looks inside. All the righteous. Hurrah! The door is open! The deans look inside. Chancellor. What was concealed behind that door? Glazier. I can't see anything. Chancellor. He can't see anything. Well, I'm not surprised. Deans. What was concealed behind that door? Theology.
Nothing. That is the solution to the riddle of the universe. Out of nothing in the beginning, God created heaven and earth.
Philosophy. Out of nothing comes nothing. Medicine. Bosh! That is nothing. Law. I doubt everything. And there's some swindle here. I appeal to all righteous men. Daughter, to poet. Who are these righteous? Let him tell you who can. All the righteous are often just one person. Today they are me and mine, tomorrow you and yours. One is nominated for the poster. Rather, one nominates oneself. All the righteous. We have been swindled! Chancellor. Who has swindled you? All the righteous. The daughter! Chancellor. Will the daughter kindly inform us what her idea was in having the door opened? Daughter. No, my friends. If I told you, you would not believe it. Medicine. But there's nothing there. What you say is correct. But you have not understood it. What she says is bosh. All. Bosh! Daughter to poet. They are to be pitied. Do you mean that seriously? Very seriously. Do you think the righteous are to be pitied too? They most of all, perhaps. And the four faculties? They too, and not least. 4 heads and 4 minds with a single body. Who created such a monster? All. She does not answer! Chancellor. Then stone her! This is the answer. Listen, she is answering! All. Stone her! She is answering! Enter lawyer. Daughter. If she answers, or if she does not answer, stone her. To poet. Come, you see her, and I will answer the riddle. But far from here, out in the wilderness where none can hear us, none can see us. For the lawyer interrupts by taking hold of her arm. Have you forgotten your duties? God knows I have not. But I have higher duties. But your child. My child. Yes. Your child is calling you. My child. Alas, I am earthbound. All this anguish in my breast, this agony, what is it? Don't you know? No. It is the pangs of conscience. The pangs of conscience? Yes. They come after every neglected duty, after every pleasure, however innocent. If there is such a thing as innocent pleasure, which is doubtful. And they also come every time one causes pain to one's neighbor. Is there no remedy? Yes, but only one. To do one's duty instantly. You look like a devil when you say the word duty. But when one has, as I, 2 duties, fulfill first one, and then the other. The higher first. Therefore you look after my child, and I will do my duty. Your child is unhappy without you. Can you let another suffer on your account? There is conflict in my soul. It is pulled this way and that until it is torn in two. These, you see, are life's little trials. Oh, how they tear me! Poet, you would have nothing to do with me if you knew what misery I have caused through following my vocation. Yes, my vocation, which is the highest duty of all. What do you mean? I had a father whose hopes were centered in me, his only son. I was to have carried on his business, but I ran away from the commercial college. Worry brought my father to his grave. My mother wanted me to be religious. I couldn't be religious. She disowned me. I had a friend who helped me when I was desperate. But that friend turned out to be a tyrant to the very people whose cause I upheld. So to save my soul, I had to strike down my friend and benefactor. Since that time, I've had no peace. I am considered base, contemptible, the scum of the earth. Nor do I get any comfort from my conscience when it tells me I did right. For the next moment it assures me I did wrong. That is the way of life. Come with me. out into the wilderness. Lawyer. Your child. Daughter, indicating all present. These are my children. Each one of them is good. But as soon as they are together, they fight and turn into devils. Farewell. Blackout.